All right, all you coffee lovers out there, you can join me in enjoying a cup of Joe, and I'm going to tell you why.
If you're over 65 or caring for someone who is, please hear this. A few sips of the wrong coffee every day can quietly increase risks you don't want. Drinks that are too hot and injure the esophagus, brews that nudge up bad cholesterol, roasts that form unwanted chemicals, and stale beans that may carry toxins from poor storage. But there's good news. In this video, you'll discover 4 coffees to never touch and 4 smart swaps to drink instead, lined up step by step so you can change your routine today. Here's a fast tip right away. Do not drink coffee when it's scalding hot. Let it cool for a few minutes, or add a splash of cool plant milk. This small move may help lower a known risk for the esophagus, according to a World Health Organization. Many older adults don't realize that temperature, filter type, roast level, and storage method all change what coffee does in the body. For people living with cancer, in recovery, or simply hoping to reduce risk, these choices matter. Over the next half hour, you'll learn 8 targeted moves, what to ditch and what to drink, so your daily cup supports your health instead of undermining it. Dr. William Li, a physician-scientist, is known for his research on how foods can support the body's natural defenses, such as angiogenesis, the growth of new blood vessels that tumors may try to hijack. This video reflects that food-first mindset. Watch until the end because each section comes with serving sizes, brew temperatures, shopping tips, and storage hacks. Worst coffee number 4. Dessert coffees. One coffee you should strike from your routine is the oversized, syrup-loaded dessert drink. What looks like a fun treat is really closer to a milkshake than a coffee. These blended and syrupy beverages can carry 10-15 teaspoons of added sugar in a single cup, which sends your blood sugar and insulin soaring, only to come crashing down later with fatigue and cravings. According to a large prospective cohort study in the BMJ, drinking more sugary beverages was linked with an 18% higher risk of overall cancer and a 22% higher risk of breast cancer. For older adults, this matters even more, because sugar makes weight control and blood sugar harder to manage, both of which play an important role in cancer outcomes. Beyond long-term risk, these drinks can also make day-to-day recovery more difficult by disrupting sleep if consumed late, worsening reflux, and adding empty calories that crowd out nourishing foods your body truly needs. By swapping these liquid desserts for a lighter option, you not only avoid feeding cancer cells the fuel they thrive on, but also give your body a steadier energy supply to support healing.
Coffee's been drank so long by humans, we can't even find the written history of its origin. Probably came in Ethiopia a long time ago, coffee beans. And of course, now you have, famous blends and bean varieties and all that kind of stuff. Here's what I would tell you about coffee. We do know that coffee has a lot of natural bioactives from the bean. One of them is chlorogenic acid. I've done a lot of study on that. Chlorogenic acid lowers inflammation, for sure. Okay? You can start your morning with an anti-inflammatory beverage. It doesn't contribute calories if you don't add sugar or dairy to it or other milk. Great. Now you've actually done something good for yourself straight up. It does have caffeine. Some people are sensitive to caffeine. You can have the decaffeinated coffee. All right. You still get a little bit of the bioactives. And of course, there are individuals who are very sensitive to caffeine for whom coffee isn't going to be a good choice. Maybe not even tea. All right. But we're not talking, this is where you're talking about those people on social media who, they want to pick a battle and they go out and they're like, oh, it's bad for the adrenal. Maybe for somebody it's bad for the adrenals, but for most people, my adrenals working just fine. I've drank a heck of a lot of coffee in my time. All right. And I'm a doctor, so I can talk about adrenals in a very informed and expert sort of way. I'm telling you, coffee is just fine. If you got a problem with your adrenals, you probably have other things you need to be careful about eating as well, not just coffee.
Safe swap. 4. Polyphenol coffee, unsweetened or lightly sweetened.
There is a bioactive in coffee beans called chlorogenic acid, and this has been studied in human subjects drinking coffee. 1 to 3 cups a day of drinking coffee has been shown to slow down the burn rate of your telomeres. These are the caps at the end of your DNA that burn down like a fuse that reflect how fast you're actually aging. It's kind of the clock that gets, the timer that gets started from the time you're born. And the older you are, the fuse starts to shrink. Drinking coffee slows that process down. And all you got to do to get that effect is to drink anywhere from 1 to 3 cups of coffee a day. I easily meet that level myself. Okay, second reason that you actually want to drink coffee is that coffee actually protects stem cells in your body. Now, our stem cells live in our bone marrow and they come out into our bloodstream to repair us from the inside out. Happens all the time. But as we get older, our stem cells are a little bit less vigorous than when we're younger. And a lot of things can affect this, including oxidative stress from the environment and just simply aging. And so one of the things that coffee does is it protects, acts as a shield to our stem cells so they can actually keep on working as robustly and vibrantly as possible, regenerating us from the inside out. Third reason to have coffee every day is that coffee improves our metabolism. Coffee contains something called chlorogenic acid. And chlorogenic acid activates our metabolism. And the way it does it is by stimulating the production of brown fat. And we've got different kinds of fat in our body. There's white fat that's wiggly and jiggly, and brown fat that's wafer thin. And one of the things that brown fat can do is get turned on like a space heater. And when it turns on like a space heater, it's a process called thermogenesis. And coffee turns on thermogenesis. And you know why thermogenesis in brown fat is useful? Because the brown fat will be triggered and it'll burn down the harmful white fat, the visceral fat. So good fat fights bad fat, and coffee actually makes that happen. So you actually get more energy and it increases your metabolism. The other thing it does is actually helps you lose body fat, and you can actually lose weight that way. And studies have been done to show that drinking up to 4 cups of coffee a day can actually help you lose body fat. In fact, up to about 8 pounds of body fat over about 6 months or so. Not a huge amount by itself, but every little bit counts, especially when it's actually burning away your harmful white fat. Now, another thing that coffee does is it's anti-inflammatory. So chlorogenic acid in coffee is very anti-inflammatory. We know that inflammation is the root cause for a lot of the diseases of aging. And so coffee, enjoy your cup of joe, actually helps you enjoy the rest of your days longer and better because it actually chills out inflammation as well. And then finally, coffee improves gut health. It turns out that when you drink coffee, the coffee chemicals actually get down into your gut, and it protects our gut microbiome. It shifts the gut microbiome into a healthier state, so you've got better neighborhoods of gut bacteria. And as you know, better gut health is better overall health because our gut bacteria lower inflammation. And the way it does that is by releasing a metabolite called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs, SCFAs, that actually lower inflammation. And guess what? Drinking coffee helps your gut bacteria make more short-chain fatty acids, more SCFA. So these are all really great reasons why you would actually want to drink coffee every single day. And now I'm going to give you some pro tips. Pro tip number 1 is you want to get organic coffee if you want to get the most out of the chlorogenic acid. And the reason is this: coffee, like other plants, actually produce bioactives like chlorogenic acid in response to insects that are in its natural environment, right? So what do bugs in a natural environment do? They nibble on the leaves and the stems, and the coffee plant makes chlorogenic acid as a response. It's kind of a wound healing response. It's trying to heal itself when those insects are nibbling on it. Now, what do you think happens when you actually spray pesticides on the coffee bush? The bugs aren't nibbling as much, so it makes less chlorogenic acid. So if you get organic, no pesticides, more natural bugs nibbling away at it, it's going to produce more of this healing substance, chlorogenic acid. Good for the coffee plant, even better for us when we actually drink it. So
A smarter swap for those sugar-laden dessert coffees is what we'll call polyphenol coffee. A simple, unsweetened cup, or one lightly sweetened with no more than a teaspoon of sugar or honey, keeping it small, just 8 to 12 ounces, helps you enjoy the antioxidants and natural plant compounds in coffee without the blood sugar roller coaster. Skip the syrups and instead add cinnamon or a dusting of unsweetened cocoa for flavor that won't spike your glucose. If you like it creamy, reach for unsweetened plant milk, such as oat, almond, or soy, to keep the balance right. According to a large population analysis in the UK Biobank, published in the Annals of Internal Medicine, people who drank moderate amounts of coffee, even when lightly sweetened with about 1 teaspoon of sugar, had a lower risk of death compared with non-coffee drinkers. That doesn't give dessert coffees a free pass, but it does mean that a lightly sweetened morning coffee can still fit into a health-supportive lifestyle. For older adults, keeping coffee portions small and enjoying them before 2 p.m. can protect sleep, while also giving you steady energy and polyphenols that may help the body guard against disease. Worst coffee, number 3. Unfiltered coffee. Another coffee style to be cautious with is unfiltered coffee, like French press, Turkish or boiled coffee, and even espresso when it's consumed in large amounts. Unlike drip coffee made with a paper filter, these methods allow oily compounds called diterpenes, especially cafestol and kawul, to flow directly into your cup. These compounds have been shown to raise LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol, which is a concern for many older adults and cancer survivors who are already working hard to protect their heart health. According to a large population study published in Open Heart, drinking unfiltered coffee, particularly espresso and boiled styles, was linked with higher blood cholesterol levels, and the effect varied by gender and by how much was consumed. If you notice rising LDL on your blood work despite healthy eating, or if you rely heavily on French press, mocha pot, or espresso shots, unfiltered coffee may be part of the picture. For those in treatment or recovery, keeping cholesterol in check is especially important since strong cardiovascular health supports eligibility for therapies and helps you stay active through recovery. Safe swap. 3. Paper-filtered brew. A smart swap for unfiltered brews is paper-filtered coffee, like drip cones, automatic drip machines, or single-serve pods that use paper linings instead of metal mesh. The simple change makes a big difference. The paper filter traps most of the oily compounds, called diterpenes, that raise LDL cholesterol. That means you still get the rich flavor and antioxidants in coffee, without the cholesterol bump that can put extra strain on the heart. For best results, brew a small 8-12-ounce cup in the morning, and if you want a second, enjoy it before early afternoon so caffeine doesn't interfere with sleep. According to a long-term population study in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology, people who drank filtered coffee had lower risks of death compared to non-coffee drinkers, while those who favored unfiltered coffee had higher risks of cardiovascular mortality, especially older men. For older adults and cancer survivors, choosing filtered coffee is an easy daily step to protect heart health, support recovery, and still enjoy the comfort of a morning brew. Worst coffee, number 2. Scalding hot coffee. One coffee habit to avoid is drinking it scalding hot, served or sipped above about 65 degrees Celsius, 149 degrees Fahrenheit. At these very high temperatures, the liquid can burn and injure the delicate lining of the esophagus. When that lining is repeatedly damaged, the body responds with faster cell turnover to repair the tissue, and over time, this cycle of injury and repair can increase the risk of esophageal squamous cell carcinoma. According to the International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, beverages consumed at very high temperatures, above roughly 65 degrees C, are classified as probably carcinogenic to humans, while coffee at normal drinking temperatures was not found to pose the same risk. If you see heavy steam rolling off your cup, feel a sting on your lips or tongue at the first sip, or have the habit of drinking coffee immediately after brewing, you may be exposing your esophagus to unnecessary harm. Giving your coffee a minute or two to cool not only protects your mouth and throat, but also keeps this daily ritual safe and enjoyable. Safe swap 2. Hot brewed, then warmed or iced. A safer way to enjoy your coffee is to brew it hot, so you still unlock the full flavor and health compounds, and then let it cool to a safe drinking temperature. Waiting just 5 to 7 minutes after brewing, or adding a splash of cool, unsweetened plant milk, will bring the temperature below 60 degrees Celsius, 140 degrees Fahrenheit, protecting your esophagus from thermal injury. If you love iced coffee, You can pour hot brew directly over ice in a heat-safe glass for an instant chill. Beyond safety, there's also a bonus. Hot water extracts more antioxidants from coffee beans than cold brewing. According to a laboratory study and scientific reports, hot brewed coffee showed higher antioxidant activity than cold brew made from the same beans. That means you can brew hot for maximum polyphenols. Then simply let it cool before sipping, getting both the health benefits and the safety. For best balance, stick with an 8-12-ounce serving in the morning or early afternoon, and if sleep is fragile, switch to decaf after lunch. Worst coffee. Number B1, stale or poorly stored coffee. The number one coffee risk isn't something you can see in the cup. It starts with how the beans are stored. Coffee is an agricultural product, and if green beans or roasted beans are kept in poor conditions, they can develop ochratoxin A, OTA, a mold-related toxin. While average consumer exposure from coffee is usually low, poorly stored beans or lower quality bulk coffee can increase the risk. This matters especially for older adults and cancer survivors, who already carry multiple health burdens and should minimize extra toxin exposure where possible. According to a scientific opinion published by the European Food Safety Authority (EFSA) journal, OTA can persist through some food processing steps, which means careful sourcing and proper roasting are essential to keep levels low. Red flags to watch for include beans stored in warm kitchens or clear jars exposed to sunlight, a musty odor, or very cheap beans with no clear origin. By choosing fresh, properly stored coffee from reliable sources, you lower your exposure and keep your daily cup much safer. Safe swap. Number 1. Fresh roasted, reputable beans. Smart storage. The safest way to enjoy your daily cup is to start with fresh, well-sourced beans and store them wisely. Look for coffee that lists a clear roast date, ideally within the last 2 to 6 weeks, and buy from reputable roasters who source carefully or test their beans for quality. Once home, protect those beans from the 4 enemies of freshness: air, heat, light, and moisture. The best approach is to keep whole beans in a sealed, opaque container, and if you need to store them longer, divide them into small, airtight bags and freeze them, thawing only what you'll use in the next few days. When it's time to brew, using a paper filter not only delivers great flavor, but also helps remove compounds that can raise cholesterol. And if you like an evening cup, consider switching to decaf, because the health benefits of coffee aren't just from the caffeine.
And if you're sensitive to caffeine, you can try to get decaffeinated coffee, all right? That will be fine. It still has chlorogenic acid, but just know that the decaffeination process removes a lot of the caffeine, not all, a lot, but it also removes some of the other bioactives as well. But some people are sensitive, and it's just fine. If you want to actually have that taste of coffee and get some of the benefits, decaf will actually work as well. Just not as good as the full test coffee, which is my beverage of choice.
In fact, according to a large UK biobank cohort study in JAMA Internal Medicine, decaf coffee drinkers showed similar reductions in all-cause mortality as those drinking regular coffee. That means a warm evening brew can still be part of a healthy routine without keeping you awake at night.
Although for years, I enjoyed my coffee with a little milk or a little cream, dairy, okay? I like it that way. Turns out that's not the best way to drink coffee, so I actually have it straight now. And the reason is this: the chlorogenic acid in coffee floats around in tiny little molecules in the coffee, but when you put dairy in it, dairy's made of dairy fat, and those little fat particles form soap bubbles that trap the chlorogenic acid, all right? So now you drink the coffee that you have some cream or milk in it, and guess what? The chlorogenic acid is trapped in the soap bubble, and it just trickles down your gut, and you get rid of it, poop it out on the other end, and you don't actually absorb all of it. So if you want to get the most out of the chlorogenic acid, you'll absorb some if you have dairy, but not all. But if you want to get the most out of it, just have your coffee straight. Or if you want to cut the coffee taste a little bit, you can actually use a nut milk, almond milk, soy milk. All of those will actually work just fine. They don't actually form those little soap bubbles that we're talking about.
Fast answers help seal the lessons. Coffee itself is not bad for cancer. Most large studies show no harm and even benefits when you avoid extremes. A safe daily amount is usually 1 to 2 cups, though some people tolerate more or less. Espresso isn't always off the table, but if cholesterol is an issue, keep it occasional. Cold brew is gentler for some stomachs, but hot brew delivers more antioxidants. And the best milk for tea? Skip cow's milk if you want full catechin benefits. Use plant milk or milk oolong instead. The complete checklist is simple. Avoid sugary dessert coffees, daily unfiltered brews, scalding hot drinks, and stale beans. Drink instead small, unsweetened polyphenol-rich coffees, paper-filtered drip, hot brew then cool, and fresh beans, with decaf in the evening if needed. And remember the tea note. Don't mix cow's milk with green tea. Use plant milk to preserve its polyphenols. This aligns with Dr. Lee's food as medicine framework. Coffee polyphenols like chlorogenic acids support vascular health and reduce oxidative stress. Filtering, cooling, and proper storage let you keep those benefits while cutting avoidable risks. It's about helping your cup work with your biology, not against it. Your 5-minute morning routine can look like this. Measure 1 to 2 tablespoons of coffee per 6 ounces of water. Brew hot through a paper filter. Cool 5 minutes before sipping, flavor with cinnamon or cocoa, and keep sugar to a teaspoon or less. Pair with a protein or fiber snack and store beans in an opaque, sealed container with extra portions frozen for freshness. Picture your next doctor's visit. You've made small coffee changes that support your heart, protect your sleep, and steady your energy. These are simple shifts, but they add up. You are building a plate, a mug, and a day that truly work for you. Share this video with someone over 65 who loves coffee and wants to make it safer. And subscribe for more practical science-backed guidance inspired by Dr. Lee's food as medicine approach.